Good day, my viewers. My name is Okoriwu Mabeze. In today's class, I will explain the concept of standard form. Mathematicians introduce standard form in order to handle very large number and very small number. So you ought to know as a student that numbers could be in standard form or they are in ordinary form. That is to say that if a number is not in standard form, that number is in ordinary form. So it appears that what we have been doing so far, what we have been handling in mathematics so far has been in ordinary form. Let's say we have this 46.3, we'll have 46, we'll have 1, we'll have 10, any number of such. All these numbers are said to be in ordinary form. If I ask you to say from 1 to 100 or from 1 to 1 million, if you continue saying it, those numbers are in ordinary form. So when you say that a number is a standard form, that number must have this form, must have a times 10 raised to power this. It must be in this form. The question is, what does a stand for? How about what n? So in terms of this a, you find out that this a is either a decimal or a whole number. If it's a decimal, the decimal point must be at the back of the first digit that is greater than 0. And n here simply means the number of steps that you have taken to move the decimal point from its initial position to the back of the first digit that is greater than 0. Now, for example, supposing I give you to convert, I say convert 397.3 to standard form. So we write solution, we bring down the number 379.3. So this number is not in standard form, the number is in ordinary form. If it's in standard form, it has to be of this form. Now, how do we translate this ordinary form to standard form? The best way to go about that is we have to check, first of all, locate the decimal point. Now look at the decimal point. So since this is the decimal point, we move the decimal point from here to the back of the first digit that is greater than 0. The first digit here is 3, and obviously we know that 3 is greater than 0. So when we move, it becomes 1, 2. So we stop here because this is the back of 3. When we stop here, we change this thing to be 3.793. We set times 10 raised to power. We'll calculate the number of steps taken. The number of steps taken is, we move this decimal point from here, 1 and 2. So which means we move forward twice. So we write down this. So we have this. This is another example that has to do with this standard form. Like you have been given this question, just simply write solution. Bring the question down, 77 this. Like I said, if a number is not in standard form, that number is in ordinary form. Okay, so our interest here to convert to standard form is we have to first of all locate the decimal point. Look at the decimal point here. Now, we look at this. This decimal point is not at the back of the first digit that is greater than 0. The first digit that is greater than 0 here is 7. We have to move this decimal point from here to here. And when we are moving, we will count the number of steps taken. Now, we have 1, 2, 3. We have to stop here. Write 7.7826 times 10 raised to power. We have taken how many steps? 1, 2, 3. We took 3 steps. Now you will understand that initially I told you that that number must be in this form. So if you check here, this part is now your A, and this n is nothing but 3 as it stands. But then don't misunderstand this. Supposing someone gives you something like this, let's say 62.9 times 10 raised to power 4, and the person asks you, is this in standard form? It is not in standard form. When you look at it, look at the position of the decimal point. This decimal point is not at the back of the first digit that is greater than 0. It is at the back of 2, and 2 is the second digit here. So this is another example. All we need to do is write solution, bring out the question, Now, when you look at this does not contain a decimal point. So, as a student, if you are not taught about this, you might be confused that the question is wrong, but in reality, the question is not what wrong. So, look at how you're going to handle this. If they give you a question and the decimal point is not visible, you tell them this. You just write that, but you and I know that this question is the same thing as writing 41376.0. So both of them are the same. So since both of them are the same, we are going to take this one to work. When we take it to work, that means I'll write down this. So the back of the first digit that is greater than 0 is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is behind 4. Well, 4.1376. If I like, I put the 0. If I don't like, I remove the 0. So I write times 10. I have taken how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. I then put down this. So obviously this is what the answer. Anytime the decimal point is not visible, just add point and 0 at the back of that last digit. And in this example, the last digit happened to be 6. So this is another example. Here, the question starts with 0. This is another type of question that will come up in your exam. So the best way to handle this is, see the same concept, take the decimal point to the back of the first digit that is greater than 0. 0 is not greater than 0. 7 is greater than 0. So 7 is the first digit in this question that is greater than what? 0. So that means we are going to move down this from here. 1, 2. We move the decimal point to the back of the first digit that is greater than 0. Now after we must have done that, we write 7.234 times 10 raised to power. Now times 10 raised to power, in as much as this, or since this starts with what? 0, we are going to write minus. Then we'll count the number of steps taken. 1, 2. So we took 2 steps to arrive here. We have minus 2. The minus there is because the number starts with 0. The number of steps taken shows that we took 2 steps while moving the decimal point to the back of the first digit that is greater than 0.